us, and they will vote for us, and they will give us money. And that's how it works. But the problem is you accumulate an enormous national debt, adding up each year's deficits between what the government spends and what it raises in taxes. The important thing to understand about this, though, which many people don't, is that this is very good for corporations and the rich for as long as it lasts. Why? Because when the government borrows, who does it borrow from? It borrows from corporations and the rich. Nobody else has money to lend to the government. So here what we have, the government lets corporations and the rich not pay taxes, and then comes back to them and says, lend the government the money that you did. For corporations and the rich, this is, of course, wonderful. Instead of paying taxes, say goodbye to your money, they get to give the government a loan, which the government will pay back plus interest on the loan. So for corporations and the rich, going ever deeper into debt is perfectly acceptable, which is why corporations and the rich are now permitting, here in the United States, we run deficits in the trillions of US dollars every year, like this year. And corporations and the rich, they worry only because at a certain point, when you borrow more and more, you run the risk that some of the lenders, the very corporations and the rich, will decide it is too risky. You are so in debt that there may be an uprising from the people which will say you cannot repay the debt. You have to take care of us first. Now, China is a lender to the United States government. China and Japan are the number 1 and 2 lenders to the US government. China has been reducing, demanding repayment in dollars. It has been reducing its holdings of US debt by hundreds of billions of dollars over the last few years. This is an important sign that in China, too, there's the beginning of the worry that the debts are going up so fast that you're getting closer to a crisis when the mass of people say, we will not continue to pay the taxes. You need to repay the debt, which you only got because you weren't willing to tax corporations and the rich. That's why in the United States, an enormous amount of time and energy is spent by leading economists to explain deficits and national debts in every conceivable way other than what I've just told you, because they don't want the mass of people to realize that a debt is simply postponing the burden of taxation on the employees in order to benefit the employers who get out of paying a tax and have a government loan instead.